What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, JackedAt40.com and ShreddedAt40.com. This past week I've had two clients mention that people are starting to tell them that they're looking too skinny, that they should stop trying to lose weight. And I'm curious to hear if you faced similar criticism, similar kind of fit shaming or skinny shaming through your journey of trying to get lean after 40. I know I have faced it personally myself. I'm going to share some of my personal experiences throughout this video. And here's one of the messages that I received from one of my clients here. And he brings up a lot of great points here. First of all, he feels that he looks good and he feels fantastic. And he is wondering in part if it has a lot to do with just the fact that he's lost a bunch of weight. Both him and the other client have lost over 30 pounds. And that can have an impact on how people perceive you and some of the comments that they steer towards you. So we're going to address that in a moment, but also bringing up great points like, how do you know when you should stop? Like when you should end this cutting phase and when you're lean enough, and avoiding getting to that point where you are too lean, too skinny. So we're going to address all of that in this video, but I really look forward to hearing your comments down below. But I do find it very fascinating. Like, I have a feeling like these people who tell us that we're starting to look too skinny, that we should stop losing weight, if they approach people who are overweight and say, you know what, you're too fat, you really should lose weight, likely that's not going to happen. And it's just really interesting how we find it socially acceptable to approach people and say you're too skinny, but we would never think of telling someone that they're too fat, or that they need to lose weight. It's just an interesting time, and people don't realize that it's the same thing. Like, you shouldn't be. It's one thing if you're sincere and you have genuine concern for the person, but from my experience, it's just crabs in a bucket. That old saying, that story where you put a bunch of crabs in the bucket and you got some that are trying to get out and all the other crabs like pulling you back down. Whoa, hold up. I just got a kick out of editing this video. I noticed there was shaving cream up in my ear, so you're gonna notice that throughout the entire video. I'm not gonna re-record this. It is what it is. So I hope you get a good laugh while you're enjoying the content of today's video. So it's possible that some of these people see you getting ahead and they wanna pull you back down to their level. They see the level of adversity that you're experiencing, overcoming the challenges that they have tried to overcome in the past unsuccessfully to this point, and they're projecting some of their own insecurities onto you without really realizing the impact that it has on you. They just think it's just a casual little jab, a casual little comment. They don't realize how much it affects us and start to question ourselves, like, am I looking too skinny? Here we were feeling insecure about how much extra weight we're carrying, and now we're like, well, man, am I too skinny now? Like, what's the right thing to do? But it's not always the case that people are projecting their insecurities or jealousies upon you. A lot of it just comes down to personal preferences. Some people may genuinely think you are too skinny. Why they feel this need to tell you that you look too skinny and you should stop losing weight, I don't know, especially when in most cases you're at a point where you've developed this lean, healthy, athletic looking body that like 20 to 30 years ago, when our level of rate of obesity and overweight individuals was much lower. And again, I think this is the big reason why we're starting to see this more and more, because being lean, fit, and athletic is definitely not the norm that it was back in the day. So people just aren't used to seeing lean, athletic, healthy physiques very often. It's just not our norm. And if your norm was carrying around 30 to 40 extra pounds for the past several years, maybe even decades, and someone hasn't seen you in a little while and they see that you've lost all of this weight, it can be a shock to them, especially in our faces. We tend to carry some of that fat in our face, and when we are 30, 40 extra pounds, our face is rounder. You'll lose that 30, 40 pounds and you can see your cheekbones, your jaw bones. It's a lot more deal. It's your actual face, but some people really, like, they think that a chubbier face looks better. You got a bit more of a glow. It kind of stretches your skin out so you're not seeing wrinkles like you would. So you almost look younger when you're carrying around extra weight. Again, it's all just certain perceptions that people face. But again, it can be that shock from the weight loss. This happened to my workout partner Mike when he lost the 30 pounds. Initially, he was getting people to say, are you sick? Is everything okay? I faced the exact same thing myself. I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But people, oh, you're too skinny, Mike. You need to gain some weight. So you don't look good here at all. But it's amazing. He has kept that weight off for the past 5 years. And those same people who told him that he was too skinny back then, I hear them making comments, oh my God, like Michael looks so good and everything. I'm like, okay, he looks the exact same that he did 5 years ago when he lost that 30 pounds, when you thought he looked sick and he didn't look healthy and that he should stop trying to lose weight. He's the exact same person. It's just you weren't used to seeing him that lean. Now you're used to, like, this is him. This is how he looks. So it's I think that the change is definitely plays a role into people's perceptions. Again, when I lost my 50 pounds, I had family members ask me, are you sick? Of course, it's family members who are 80 to 100 pounds overweight and should be more concerned about their own health rather than mine. But I definitely had a lot of criticisms. And as I mentioned earlier, it's like everyone has their own preferences. Like, it's funny because I'd had some people tell me, you look frail. One day I would go into the gym and I had an older woman come up to me and say, you need to get more meat on your bones, gain some fat. That same day, I had someone else tell me, oh my God, you look freaking jacked, dude. You look freaking awesome and all that. So some people think it's incredible. Other people think it's not so good. So you can't worry about what other people think. It is most important what you think about not only your appearance, but more so how you feel. So when people ask me, when will I know if I'm lean enough? When should I stop this cutting phase? I really can't answer that for you. We are all different. We all have different preferences. You may prefer a little bit more meat on your bones, looking thick, looking fuller, or you may prefer a look that is much leaner. You love the chiseled details and all that. But what's more important than the look is how you are feeling. You want to feel your best, perform your best. You want to live your life to the fullest with zest and vitality. So it's really important to have a heightened sense awareness when it comes to that. Now, some men over 40 will feel their best, perform their best around that 15% body fat. Some will feel their best, perform their best, and thrive at like 9 to 10% body fat. So it's all individual, because those people who thrived at 15%, they try to get down to 9, 10% body fat. They may just, their energy in the tank, they can't sustain it at all. They are become food obsessed. So again, you can't listen to what other people say, because hearing some of those people with those experiences may deter you from getting leaner, even though getting leaner for you may be getting you to a point where you are absolutely freaking thriving. So I really can't answer that question for you, but things to consider is your energy level and all that stuff. So if you're going through a cutting phase, paying attention to your mental clarity, your mental focus, your libido, your overall energy and zest to get through life. Now, all of that doesn't have to necessarily do with how lean you are. A lot of that can do with how well you're sleeping, your stress level. So there's a lot of factors to take into consideration, and how long you have been dieting also plays a role into that as well. So you start checking off some of the symptoms that people are talking about, like signs that you're getting too lean. Low libido, no energy, no focus and everything. Like, that may not have anything to do with being lean. It may just be because you're in an extended calorie deficit here for a very long period of time. But once you get back up to maintenance level calories, even at that level of leanness, all those symptoms can disappear, because now you're fueling your body with the energy that it needs to sustain itself. So there's so many different little factors that come into play, but just know that you're your own individual, and take all that criticism with a grain of salt. Be true to yourself. Go after what matters most to you, what feels best to you. Nobody else can tell you how you feel in this moment, where you feel your best, where you perform your best. Only you know that. So don't let others deter you from their goals. Let them have their opinions. They're entitled to it. Why they feel compelled to be critical of others, I don't know. But just be true to yourself. Live your best life, and encourage you to kind of take this into perspective, especially when you feel the impact that those comments have on you. turn that around and just share the love, man. Like, just share love back to them and just try to build people up. Realize that the importance of building people up rather than try to break people down. That is a valuable lesson in and of itself. I hope you enjoyed this discussion, and as I mentioned, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Can you relate to this subject matter? What have your experiences been, and how have you handled these situations? If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do him a favor and share it with them and have them drop their comments down as well. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.